Hi friends, welcome back to Amazing Women's World. In this video I've come up with one more designer blouse. Thank you so much for subscribing and watching to my channel. Myself Radha, fashion designer. If you are watching for the first time, subscribe and stay tuned to watch more videos of latest fashion trends. So for this project I'll be using this contrast multicolor brocade which is of maroon as the base, and also using this half-white brocade which is of gold in color, 2 bias strips for preparation of dori, and also one gold color bias for the piping. Now let us start with the draft. I'll give the markings on the lining, give the margin lines on top and bottom with the length of 15 inches. Half an inch on either sides for the seaming elements, and total required length is 14 inches. Mark the neck width of 3 inches with the shoulder length of 2.5 inches. Shoulder slope of 1 inch. Join that point with the neckline. From there, mark the armhole length of 6.5 inches, which is half of the total armhole length. From there, mark the quarter part of the chest measurements, which is 9.5 inches, with the seaming allowance of 2 inches. Mark the midpoint of the armhole, connect that with the chest point using this French curve, or else you can draw it freely. Now mark the quarter part of the waist measurements, which is 8.5 inches. Also give the seaming allowance of 2 inches. Connect that to the chest line. Mark the quarter inch of seaming allowance towards the armhole and the shoulder line. Almost done with the back bodice marking. Now let us start with the designing markings. From the waistline, mark 2 inches towards the neckline, and you should give the designing like this free-handedly. And I would be marking the scallops with the half circle shape. If you believe you got the perfect shape, then cut on the marked lines. To make it clearly visible, I am giving the markings on the lining. Now cut on the marked lines. This is how the bodice of the back panel would look like this. Now I'll transform the same markings on the interfacing. Place it on the fold and give the markings. This is how it looks. I'll also give one more designing marking on this with the neck deep of 6.5 inches. The shape of the design somewhat would look like this. Start cutting on the marked design. This interfacing design I lay it on the gold brocade and get it pressed well on the shining part, laying on the wrong side of the brocade. I also trim the pretty side of the blouse. Now I'll lay the lining, keeping right on right. I'll join towards the neckline, giving the edge seaming. Now give the slits without crossing the thread line. Towards this end, give the angled slit. Turn inside out and press it well so that the underneath seaming allowances will be settled properly. This is how it looks. Now I'll give the gold piping to elevate the neckline. Fold one side of raw edge of the bias towards the wrong side and give the stitch line. Now place the right side of the raw edge of the bias on this design and start sewing. You have to keep a little piece on the bias away when you are sewing. Now give the slits on the curved turnings for the flexible move. You can see here the uplift of the gold bias. There you have to give the slits. Now turn raw edge of the bias towards the wrong side with the required length of the piping. Just adjacent to the piping, start sewing. We are defining the design with the gold bias. Slowly, little by little, pulling the bias like piping. Give the stitch line just adjacent to this. This is how it looks after giving the piping, joining to the neckline. Now just 1 centimeter away, give the top stitch so that the underneath bias will be settled properly, or else it will slip when you wear. This is how it looks after sewing. I've stuck the interfacing shining towards the wrong side of this gold brocade, giving the gentle press. Also cut the lining of the same shape of the brocade. Now just adjacent to this interfacing designing, we'll give the stitch line towards the inner side of the neckline. Now start cutting just adjacent to the sewn line, leaving a small amount of space. Ensure to maintain the perfect shapes of the neckline. Now give the slits and also the angled slit in the center of the neckline. Turn it inside out. Ensure to maintain the proper shapes of the neckline. Get it pressed well. This is how the shape would look. Now I'll place the back bodice on this neckline. Ensure to match with the required length, as we have given the markings on the interfacing. On that you have to place this bodice piping and secure it with the pins. Now give the stitch line just adjacent to this gold piping, joining with the underneath gold brocade. I've changed the standard footer to zipper footer. Now with this bias, I would be preparing dori. Fold the bias towards the wrong side and just adjacent to the fold start sewing. The right side should come in. A small length of casing should be prepared for the dori. Now you can see here, leave 1/4 inch away from the sewn line and trim off the extras. I would be using thread and needle towards one corner. Give the tight knot like this, inserting the needle reversely into the casing. Pull towards another side. Now slowly start pulling the thread into the casing. You can see here tight and the thick dory is moving inside the casing. Start pulling the thread slowly till it reaches to the another side. There is one technique. If you know the technique, it will come out easily. For that you need practice. Hold it tightly, the thread and needle, with one hand, and you have to pull it with the another hand into the casing. You can see here thin dory is coming out from the casing. Now I'll join this dory with the blouse along with the dory hangings for the extraordinary look. See, join it here like this, marking 2 inches from the top of the shoulder line. I would also join the patches of the contrast color stone work on this gold brocade for the final decoration. Get ready to watch the final outcome. It's really turned out pretty well, which is very much enriched with the gold patch, highlighting the outline with the piping, with the simple dory hanging, a small final decoration with the contrast stone line. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Having any doubts, to write to me in the comment section. Also leave your valuable suggestions and recommendations. Please share this video in your community or circles, may be useful to them. Don't forget to hit the like button. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned. Bye for now.